I'm Smriti from Leverage Edu. I'm a head coach over here, and we at Leverage Edu make dreams come into a reality. Leverage Edu is a end-to-end university admissions consultation service, and we provide you free consultation. The first consultation is, of course, free. So if you're looking at universities abroad for your education and for your career, you should come and talk to us at Leverage Edu. So today's webinar is going to be about careers in computer science, and we are going to be exploring careers in computer science abroad. Basically, the idea is that computer science is a very famous field, and it's also an up-and-coming field um, which has multiple intersectional applications in industries, and therefore computer science is very charming to all of the new graduates these days and students in class 11 and 12 because of the exposure they have to programming languages and coding, etc., are very aligned towards and very drawn towards pursuing a career in computer science. So increasingly what is happening is that every industry is becoming reliant on computers, and therefore the applications of a computer science degree are manifold, which basically opens up an abundance if you look at it in terms for your career. And therefore, it's extremely important for us to consider what a career in computer science is going to look like. And I'm going to take you through that today. But before that, we have to understand that there are various specializations that also exist in computer science. And when you're looking at a career in computer science, before you zero in on your university, before you zero in on what you're going to be studying, you have to do certain self reflection and try and understand where your interests lie. Which specialization within computer science do you want to pick up? Because computer science is vast. Through this webinar, I'm going to be covering a couple of things. First, I'm going to be talking to you about the specializations that exist in computer science today. I am going to be talking about the different job opportunities and options that exist for you as a computer science graduate. And after that, we are also going to be covering which are the best countries for you to be looking at a computer science degree. And also the fact that should you be doing a graduate degree or should you be doing a postgraduate degree. So I'm going to talk both about computer science at the graduate level and at the postgraduate level to give you an idea of what is the difference between the application for both, what is the difference between the job prospects that you get offered after both of these. And then what we're going to discuss is basically the top universities across geographies which are there for computer science and for you to be able to pursue computer science. And I'm also going to give you an idea of what the fee range looks like in these universities, and then we'll take up the most commonly asked questions or questions that we have from the people who are on this slide. So let's start with the idea. So I've already told you that computer science is very lucrative, increasing the industrialization. The fourth revolution is supposed to be the computer science revolution. The internet is supposed to be the fourth revolution. Therefore, because technology is getting so invasive into all of our spaces, computer science is the place to be. And because of which we also see at Leverage a lot of demand for computer science applications and computer science courses. But as an international student, if you're interested in computer science, what you also have to look at is the various research that is happening across different fields of computer science, right? And that becomes relevant because then you're able to narrow down or zero in the kind of university that you should be attending and the kind of program that you should take a part in. But let's look at some specializations in computer science. So within the space of computer science, you have things like user experience design. You have interface management. You have computing systems. You have computing theory. You have programming language. You have artificial intelligence. You have machine learning. You have graphic designing. And of course, you do have the various programming languages, but you also have specializations in data analytics, data structures, algorithms. So these are different specializations which colleges offer. And As far as specializations are concerned, during your bachelor's, you have different fields of engineering, right? You have electrical engineering, electrical science, communication science. So computer science becomes one field, whereas depending on the location that you go into over the 3 or 4 years, you study different things. But if you're looking at a specialization in a master's, these specializations help because because they build your career in that way. So if you're somebody who is interested in becoming a product manager, then understanding user interface, understanding graphic design is something that could be helpful. Therefore, that is a specialization that you could be picking up for yourself. If you're looking to work in a company which talks about artificial systems, or which works on artificial intelligence, or which works with artificial intelligence, probably something like a Google, then you would benefit from taking artificial intelligence as your area of specialization. So these area of specializations can be chosen as different modules and different electives which various universities offer, and they will shape your career in a certain trajectory, because then you will be engaging with people from these fields, you will be engaging with the research that exists within this field, and you will be working with professors who are in these fields, who are industry experts in this field, and therefore you will be at an advantage to have a career within this field. So having an idea of the specialization that you want within computer science is something that becomes imperative for us over here. So, especially as the pandemic's ongoing and remote jobs are increasing as well, automation increasing, technology is increasing. We recently heard that 3 lakh people in the IT workforce are going to be removed because technology and automated products will take their jobs. So within that sphere, we have to then keep in mind that we have to keep upskilling ourselves, and we have to make ourselves indispensable. And a computer science degree, an advanced one especially, is something that can help you with making yourself indispensable, and making yourself not replaceable by technology. So it's just because this is something across industries, I'm just going to now give you an idea of the different kinds of jobs that directly relate to your degree, which is in computer science. So you can work as an application analyst, you can work as an application developer. You can work as a cybersecurity analyst. You can work as a data analyst, database administrator, forensic computer analyst, game designer, game developer, information system manager. And information system specialization is also one specialization that exists in computer science. IT consultant, then we definitely have software engineer, software developer, but you can also become a systems analyst, you can become a user experience designer, web developer. And there are a lot of jobs across industries where if you want to be in the health industry, or if you want to be in any other industry which does not directly relate to computer science or isn't about technology or the industry, it is possible for you to be a part of that with a computer science degree as well. And some of those jobs, I'll just give you an idea, could be an IT sales professional, it could be an IT trainee, you work as an IT trainee, you work as a nanotechnologist, you work as a network engineer, a supply chain manager, telecommunications researcher. But besides that, academia is also an option for people who want to pursue computer science. If you're looking at research and if you want to work in developing new technology and in developing cutting edge research, then academia is a great option to choose after you've done a degree in computer science, be it at the graduate level or at the undergraduate level. Now let's talk about the geographies. And by geographies, I mean areas abroad where you can go ahead and study a computer science degree. Best countries for computer science would be Canada, United States of America, UK, Europe, which includes Ireland, Netherlands, Germany, and Australia. So it is all across the continent. There are countries which can suit your needs if you are looking to study computer science. All of these countries fall, or all of these continents fall in areas which are developed and therefore offer a great quality of life. And STEM salaries across are very high, and this is something that we see all across the globe, even in India, that STEM salaries are higher than salaries across. And computer science as a degree falls within STEM, so you can expect to get a higher salary than the median or the average. The vast opportunities. There are vast opportunities of um, vast opportunities available across industries for you as a computer science graduate if you're looking to work in these countries. And also, it becomes easier for you to be able to work and get a job if you have a STEM degree. And also, if you're looking at permanent residence in any of these countries, then STEM adds value because you become a highly skilled immigrant to that place. And all of these countries do value highly skilled immigrants. And they are all developing countries, therefore, technology is just booming in all of these countries. And therefore, you can expect a great quality of life. Now, there are two levels at which you can study computer science and have a career in computer science abroad. One is the graduate level, and the other is the postgraduate level. Let's first discuss the graduate level and then we will talk about the postgraduate level. So, graduate level means that you do a bachelor's of science in any of these countries. Bachelor's of science in computer science. And in bachelor's, you would not have specializations as such, but you can definitely be a part of research labs which work on certain specific ideas or a certain specific research and then shape your career in that trajectory. What do you need for a graduate level online application? Now, if we look at United States of America, you need to be somebody who has a good SAT or ACT score. So those are standardized tests which become important for the United States of America. They become important for a lot of countries within Europe. UK is a country where you need to just have A levels and you do not need standardized test scores to apply for a bachelor's degree. In the German application also, the requirements are similar to the US requirements. Now, what you need in the essays is basically to display your motivation for studying a bachelor's in computer science. You also need recommendation letters. And if your principal can recommend, or if somebody who you've interned with can recommend, or somebody you worked on a project with can recommend, it will be a great idea. So you need recommendations. Within the online application, you need to fill the essay. Your English proficiency test is extremely important. So you need to give an IELTS or have a TOEFL score because that's important. And you need to also have extracurricular accomplishments. It's not like a need to have extracurricular accomplishments as much as it adds value to your application when, especially when you're submitting a graduate level application, if you do have extracurricular accomplishments. So, in the United States of America, the course is 4 years. 1 year is common, and to all, like computer science and some other engineering, etc., etc. The 1 year is common, and after that, they specialize. So, what happens by doing a degree, a graduate degree abroad, is that you get more research opportunities. And that is something that's pervasive all across. It's very easy for you to be able to approach professors to work on areas of interest that you have, research on areas of interest of yours. The more research opportunities you get, and because you get more research opportunities, there are labs that are there that you can work on, and you can get funding also for your research, even if you're like a student, and that becomes good. It becomes a great idea because then it increases your experience as well, your practical industry experience as well. And it is a good idea if your larger goal is to move and settle in that country. If you start with a bachelor's in that country and then take a job right after that and further then, build your career in that way. Because like it's a bachelor's degree, it can still be a good launch pad for you. Now let's talk about postgraduate application. So what happens in postgraduate application is when you go ahead and go for the masters, go for a master's in computer science. So it is important for you to have a background in computer science, and there are certain courses which are prerequisite to different universities which are needed. If your prerequisites are not met, you cannot apply. If your prerequisites are met, even if you're not somebody who has a background in computer science, but you were so interested that you did multiple diploma or certificate courses which picked up on things like data structures, algorithms, programming languages, etc., etc., then you can apply for a master's. But because of this condition, switching to computer science and taking it as a master's, if you have not had it at the bachelor level or not studied engineering at the bachelor level, is a tricky part and it's not that great. But there are many allied degrees which don't fall into the computer science ambit, but like data science, data analytics, business analytics, information systems management, which are choices that can exist if you don't have a background in computer science, but are looking for transferring into or getting a job in STEM areas. Now let's talk about the application of postgraduate computer science master. It's an online application as all applications are. You need standardized test scores. And because computer science is a degree that is so much in demand, especially a master's in computer science, the process at universities is very, very competitive. Therefore, any extra thing that you have can add edge to your application and can be like a deal breaker. To standardized test score, you need a GRE, you need essays, and there are some universities which also ask you to provide research essays to be able to understand your competence to undertake research at the master's level. So you need to be prepared with that as well. So you need those, you need the essays, you need that, you need the GRE, research publication. If you have any research publications in any peer-reviewed journal, it is a great idea because it can add a lot to your application. It goes to show that you are dedicated within your field of research. You already have research interests, and you also have studied the area of specialization extensively. So research publications can add a lot of value for your master's application. Projects. If you have projects and you've published white papers for the same, or if your projects have been employed and have been used by companies or your organization or the organization you're working at or your university, then that is also a great idea. Or if your project served as a base for another different advancement or another application, then those are also great things to have. And the more of these things that you have, the more lucrative your profile is for these universities, the more appeasing your profile is for these universities, and your chance of acceptance increases. Now, you can also, so within a master's, you have a choice in most universities. You can choose your master's to be research focused, or you can choose your master's to be professional. Professional masters are a little less lengthy in terms of the time you spend doing that masters. Most of them end in 15 months, don't stretch to 24 months, but a master's which is research focused, and this is, I'm talking about the United States of America, is something that is going to last for 2 years. So research focus leads to an easy transition to a PhD, and then can be, a starting point for a good career in academia and good career in research, if that is the trajectory or career that you choose for yourself or you envision for yourself. Now, the professional masters prepares you better for the industry because it takes you away from the industry for a very small time to upskill you, and then sends you back in with a better network, with better knowledge, and with better skills. So, therefore, that is also a choice that you can make. And but it is not the fact that a research, if you engage in a research focused masters, you can't go back to the industry. There is no dichotomy in those things as such, and it is possible for you to go back to the industry if you do a research focused masters as well. Now let's talk about the top geographies and the top universities across those geographies. So if we're looking at Canada, and I'm going to talk from the perspective of both a graduate degree and a postgraduate degree. Canada has multiple universities where you can do your computer science education from, but the best among those would be UBC, University of British Columbia, Canada, University of Toronto, University of Waterloo, McGill University, Alberta University and University of Simon Fraser. These are some of the top universities where you can get the best opportunity, the best exposure, and where you can look to make the best of your career. If you look at United States of America, and the options are plenty, and everyone knows about universities over here. We know of the Harvard, we know of the Stanford, but what we don't know is there are some universities like Carnegie Mellon, MIT, UC Berkeley, UT Austin, Arizona State University, which are also extremely good. And within the United States of America, what becomes important is the placement of the university. The closer you are to Silicon Valley, the more opportunity you have to network over there, more opportunity you have to be able to find jobs over there. So, location and geography within the United States of America plays a good role in your education, in your master's education abroad. Let's look at UK. We have the Oxford, Cambridge, University College London, Imperial, Manchester, Edinburgh. All of these are universities which are great universities. They're ranked very highly in Europe. All across Europe, they are very prestigious. And UK, especially, of course, within UK also, they are ranked extremely highly. And therefore, the employment opportunities post graduating from these universities are going to be great. They boast a very high employment rate. Now let's talk about Europe. And if we look at Europe as a larger entity, we can see that we have universities like ETH, we have Zurich, we have TUM in Germany, KTH, we have KIT Germany, we have RWTH Aachen, and all of these universities are great. But what we need to keep in mind when we're looking at universities abroad is to understand that these are universities that don't have on campus placements, so to say, as Indian universities offer. And therefore, both at the bachelor's level and master's level, what becomes extremely important is to make use of all of the opportunities that the university offers, like career fairs, internship opportunities, interaction with universities, etc., etc. So it's extremely important to make sure that you're using those opportunities to build a network for yourself and hence are able to find a job. Internships become extremely important because a lot of people who go out to study intern at places that they want to work in and therefore convert that internship into offers. Things like placements don't exist in those universities, and therefore you have to be a little more proactive in terms of shaping your career because it doesn't get shaped unless and until you take that active effort and put yourself out there, build your network, and seek the jobs that you really, really want. Let's discuss fee. Now, fee is something, the range of which is expansive. So you can study a computer science degree in Germany at zero cost because they have public education, but might have to shell more than a crore for a degree in computer science at in like United States of America. So the fee is going to be contingent on the geography that you choose for yourself, also the kind of university that you decide to go to. So if you decide to go to a public university, you will obviously be paying less fee. If you decide to go to a private university, you will be paying more fee. And therefore, it's extremely important to keep in mind your budget and your constraints while deciding. And there is no one up above the other. All of these opportunities, all of these geographies are extremely important and they are very lucrative. So it's not like if you cannot go out to the US, you should shut down your plans of education abroad. There are multiple other geographies that you can explore which are within your budget. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to democratize the world of education abroad, right? So we're here to tell you that you have, as a student, you might not have a career, but it's possible for you to go abroad and get a very good education. Some of the questions that we're getting over here, and I'm just going to talk about it. The first question that we have is the fact that how important are GRE scores while applying. So it becomes important for us to understand that GRE is a standardized test. And all of these universities, they have a lot of variance within their application process, but they're trying to make it as objective as possible, and therefore they value the standardized test. So if you see, if you go to higher ranked universities, they would have a higher GRE score. But that does not go to say that if you have a GRE score that is not that great, if it's not like about 330 or something, you can't get into the best universities. If you're able to tell them your story well, if you're able to tell them that you're motivated enough, then it is possible for you to get into those universities with GRE scores that are not conventionally supposed to be high. Another question that we have over here is how to write a research essay. Now, how to write a research essay is like an entirely different, conversation. But if I could talk about certain, certain points which you could keep in mind while writing the research essay would be that the research essay should talk about your areas of interest, and it should kind of be in confluence with the work that you've done, the projects that you have, and the kind of work that you imagine yourself doing. So if you're working in something related to machine learning, or if you're working in something related to artificial intelligence, it would be great if your research essay is around those projects, if it's around those ideas, and not on something completely different like nanotechnology, right, or network systems. So that gives like a good idea or clarity of thought from your part. So those are research essays that you could read. I think that's, yeah. So at Leverage Edu, we are here to take care of all of your needs, and we've also launched the largest scholarship in the country. The scholarship was 5 crore rupees. So if you've gotten admit from any university abroad and you want to get the scholarship, you should apply. And we release winners every fortnight. And it's an end-to-end service, university admission service. So you can go to leverageedu.com, visit our page, and get a free consultation also. The first consultation is free, and will make your career in computer science a broader reality, and your dream of studying computer science a broader reality. Thank you so much. If you've missed this webinar, you can always catch it again at Leverage TV on leverageedu.com or on the YouTube channel. Thank you.